everyone, I'm Colleen with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Have you ever wondered why Catholics like to wear those miraculous medals so much? Well, today's saint is the one you have to thank for their creation. Saint Catherine Labouré was born in 1806 in France to a farming family. She was the ninth of 11 children. Her mother died when Catherine was only 9 years old. After the funeral, she picked up a statue of the Blessed Virgin Mary, kissed it, and quietly said, "Now you will be my mother." A few years later, she had her first vision. It was of an old priest whom she did not recognize, but what he told her would eventually change the course of her life. He said, "It is good to look after the sick. God has a purpose for you. Do not forget it." More years passed, and Catherine went to visit a hospital run by the Daughters of Charity. While there, she saw a picture on the wall of St. Vincent de Paul, and she instantly recognized him as the priest from her vision. From that moment, she knew she was meant to join St. Vincent's order, and in 1830, she joined the novitiate. A few months later, Catherine was awoken from her sleep by a child's voice, calling her to the chapel where the Blessed Virgin Mary was waiting for her. Mary told Catherine that God had selected her for a mission. She would be opposed in the beginning, but not to fear, because God would give her special graces to accomplish it. She instructed her to tell everything she experienced to her spiritual director, because times were evil in France and the world. A few months later, the Blessed Virgin appeared to her again. This time she stood upon a globe inside an oval frame with rays of light emanating from her hands to the earth. Around the frame were the words, "O Mary conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee." As she watched, the image turned, revealing a circle of 12 stars, a large letter M surmounted by a cross with the Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary's Immaculate Heart underneath. When Catherine asked Mary why some of the rays did not touch the earth, the Virgin replied, "Those are the graces for which people forget to ask." She was then instructed to bring the image before her father confessor, who was to have them placed on medallions. All who wear them would receive special graces. Initially, the priest did not believe her. He spent 2 years investigating the matter and observing her behavior on a daily basis. After which, he was convinced and brought her story to the Archbishop, who had 2,000 medals created. The medals were distributed so quickly and effectively that their creation and popularity were said to be miraculous. Catherine then spent the next 40 years of her life serving the sick, the elderly, and disabled. She passed away in 1876 at the age of 70. Her body was encased in glass under the side altar on the chapel of Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal in Paris. In 1933, her body was discovered to be incorrupt, and she was canonized 14 years later. Catherine is now the patron saint of the elderly and infirm, as well as the Miraculous Medal. So next time you see someone wearing a miraculous medal, you can be reminded of its significance. It's more than just a piece of Catholic jewelry. It's meant to be a reminder for us to pray and ask for Mary's intercession. St. Catherine Labouré, pray for us.